NetWaste is proud to announce that in 2026, our theme is going to be Shrink Your Footprint. Every entry in 2026 is going to have to fit into a shoebox so it can be transported to our host council, Broken Hill. We're really excited about heading to Broken Hill, but the new size restriction may have some of the artists thinking, how am I going to approach the theme and the size limit in 2026? So this video is just going to run you through a couple of ideas that you can use and also explain to you what it means to shrink your footprint. So first of all, when it comes to the size of your entry, remember that entries for primary schools could be made up of lots of little artworks that each of your students make and put together, giving them a chance to showcase their individual creativity. Those works can then be displayed as these works are here after they've been put into a shoebox for transport to Broken Hill. I know a lot of you will say there are different sized shoeboxes as well, and that's totally fine. As long as it's a shoebox that's manufactured for gumboots, for larger shoes, for high heels, or for sneakers, we're not worried. As long as it's an authentic shoebox, you can put your entries into that. So there is some scope to find longer shoeboxes, and in that case, it would allow you to take an entry like this one, roll it up carefully, and pop it into a shoebox, so you can shrink your footprint and send it to Broken Hill. Waste2Art, for the year of Shrink Your Footprint, is going to ask entrants to explore what your waste footprint actually is. And put simply, your waste footprint is all the waste that you generate throughout your day and throughout your year. Your footprint is generated by the things that you might waste at home, that we all waste at home, like sometimes food and packaging, electronic wastes, chemicals, and those single-use items that we find ourselves using that could be swapped for a reusable or more environmentally friendly option. Once you've identified what your waste footprint is, and you might even jump online and do a waste audit with one of the amazing calculators that you can find online, but simply by looking around your house or your home, you may find there are things that you use every day that you realise could be swapped for a much better option. So when it comes to shrinking your footprint, we'll ask you, could you make an artwork from that material and showcase it to everybody in Waste2Art in 2026 to encourage them to also make a positive change and swap disposable items or other items that are having a huge impact on their waste footprint? When it comes to the categories, because we don't have a theme waste this year, as we did last year with toys or the year before with packaging, we're asking everybody to think about the materials that you find at home and use those to make your artworks for the year of Shrink Your Footprint. For example, we'll be awarding prizes in 2026 at the Regional Showcase for hard and soft plastics, for paper and cardboard, and also for textiles. And I think this work behind me is a fantastic example of a textiles work, a patchwork item that takes old t-shirts that may no longer have been able to be worn and turns them into an item that will be cherished for many years to come. It would be easily folded and put into a shoebox to transport to Broken Hill, and it highlights the fact that there are so many materials that we could use in 2026 to make exciting works of art that will encourage everybody to shrink their footprint. So when it comes to shrinking your footprint and our theme, Shrink Your Footprint, we know now that all entries have to fit in a shoebox to make it out to Broken Hill. That doesn't mean that we want to see 140 artworks in 2026 that are made out of shoeboxes or that are literal footprints or shoes. We still want to see all the amazing different works that we've seen, from animals to amazing creations like this little work here that won our Mini Metal Award this year. Next year, we're going to have 3 Mini Metal prizes of $500 at the Regional Showcase and Final in Broken Hill to try and encourage more artists to enter in 2026. And as you can see, this amazing little work has lots of fantastic details and would easily fit inside a shoebox so that it could be transported out to Broken Hill in 2026. So if you think about a potential way that you could make your entry for 2026, one of the things that you could do is revisit a favourite theme waste from the past. One of those theme wastes in the past was the year of packaging. And here we have this terrific work that's made entirely from household packaging and from a discarded child's toy. It's a terrific example of a work that would easily, again, fit into a shoebox. The other thing to remember is A shoebox is something that can be easily broken down and recycled in your household recycling bin. So when you package your item and put it into your shoebox, try and wrap it in something that's also recyclable, like newspaper or brown paper that you have from your kitchen, so that the work stays safe when it's transported, but then we can recycle 100% of the packaging that's used for Waste to Art in 2026. The great thing about Waste to Art is it asks you to research the various wastes that we encounter in our day-to-day lives. And one of those things that we don't often think about is agricultural waste. We have this terrific artwork here made out of baling twine, and I think it's a fantastic example of an artwork that is made entirely from materials that can't currently be recovered with the recycling systems that we have in place. There are plenty of good news stories, like Drum Muster, where plastic chemical drums from farms are recycled and made back into fence posts right here in the Central West. And those good news stories are worth focusing on as well. So in 2026, we're asking all entrants in Waste to Art to shrink their footprint. Think about your waste footprint and where you might be able to save materials from going to landfill unnecessarily. There are lots of things that we use every day when we look at our waste footprint that we might be able to swap for more easily recycled or reused alternatives. That mean that we'll be reducing the amount of waste that we produce in 2026, shrinking our footprint and our artworks so they can fit in a shoebox to head out to Broken Hill.